welcome back to Philly's Fairest Fire. So, in this video, I'm going to be showing you my new toolbox. So, this has been a long time coming. I could not get that original video I shot, that I actually edited, to be able to get uploaded. So, I'm just going to be doing this unedited, just off of, filming off of just the YouTube website. So, quick rundown of what I have is, as you've seen before, I have this Craftsman advertised as a 52-inch box. It's only 51 inches from that point to that point. As you can see, it stretches over my current box, my new box, just a little bit, but that'll be fixed in the future, as you'll see in the future. But let's just run over. Basically, the top hutch area, as I've kind of made this into, is still pretty much all the same. I've not moved anything out of this top hutch area into my new box or this box. But then now that I've clarified that, now let's get into my top box now. So currently now I'm storing hardware in this top box, so like O-rings, roll pins, springs, random like nuts, bolt washer, etc. kit, batteries, Loctite, and valve stems. Go down here, electrical connectors, hex cap screws, and hose clamps, epoxy, labels for my box, and instructions and stuff. Go over here, we have nitrile gloves, welding gloves, and masks for grinding. Down here is my pry bar drawer. So you can see we have just these wooden handle screwdrivers, which I use for prying. They work pretty well. Have my Tecton made in the USA pry bar, hard handle pry bar set with a striking cap on the end. I have the Tecton ladyfinger style pry bars. These are not made in the USA. And I have one Pittsburgh, which I bought when I was just starting to buy tools, because I need just a pry bar to do stuff, so I wasn't wrecking my screwdrivers. Big axle nut style driver. I have no clue. I just found it on the ground one day. Big driver for driving and things, like all kinds of things, really. Kind of a prying tool, and with a, I'm actually not sure what size bolt head that would fit. That's what I have in that drawer. Coming up here now, have basically just random wrenches up here. Like, these are old Ford wrenches. Not sure what they are for, but I bet you someone in the comments would be able to tell me. Down here, I have my other gear wrench, which I'm going to be organizing soon. I'll show you where I'm organizing those. But then I have the extra panel pullers from when I got my set warranted. Here I have my original screwdrivers. These are the first screwdrivers I bought. These are Quins. They're not too bad, actually. If you're just starting out, they'd work. These are also all the extra picks. That was my very first set I bought, and then I bought one of those, multi-piece sets that comes with 4 of these small ones and then 3 of the larger ones, but then I got that set warranted, so it basically doubled my count of picks, of these cheap Harbor Freight picks, which I am never going to be able to get rid of. And then I have all my extra punches up here. Last drawer on this chest is these are like random bits. As you can see, these are like the Harbor Freight set. I have the cheap Milwaukee titanium shockwave. These things are the worst drill bits ever. That's why they're up here, not in my actual box. They all break. This is the Montgomery Ward rotary tool set, and the actual rotor Works pretty well. You'll probably see a video that I use some of the bits in soon. This is my rivet gun and rivets, and this is my handle for this box. Alright, so coming down here now, this box is a U.S. General, so it's a Harbor Freight box, 44-inch advertised. I think it's only about 41 inches, actually, from that point down to that point. Really liking this box so far, and real quick before I break into the actual showing you how I have it organized, I'm going to quickly go over why I chose this box versus a lot of the other boxes in this price range. So my reasoning for buying this box over other boxes, and I know I'm going to have to do this because I'm probably going to get attacked in the YouTube comments, is number one, my budget. Right now, I'm not at a point where I can do payments because my work kind of comes as it comes, and it's not really set. It's not an actual schedule. So I can't do like payments on a really nice box. Number two, I want to keep buying tools and not have to pay off a big box before I can buy more tools. So that's my second reason for buying a lower end box. And number three, I'm not living out of this box yet. I am usually going mobile and using a bag, like a couple tool bags to do my work out of. So past that now, since I was looking for more of a budget box, I looked at Husky boxes from Home Depot. I looked at Craftsman from Lowe's. I looked at Cobalt from Lowe's, which turned out to be out of my price range for kind of the price range I was looking for. Looked at Homac boxes. They were another one that was kind of out of my price range. Looked at the SunX boxes. They were kind of out of my price range. Just a little bit more than I want to spend at the moment. Because I will upgrade in the future, and I can sell this box for a good price if I keep it nice. And then, what was the other brand I looked at? But, I looked at a bunch of these Toolbox brands, including, Harbor Freight, because that's what I got. And I'll run down, the ones that were in my price range were the U.S. General box from Harbor Freight, the Husky boxes from Home Depot, the Cobalt was a little expensive, and they didn't have in the boxes I liked, so that basically got extruded, and the Craftsman boxes from Lowe's. So I already had the Craftsman box, the top chest from Lowe's. So, I heavily considered getting a box from there. But after giving it some consideration and looking through it, they never had any of the boxes. Number one, they were quite pricey for the quality of the box. And number two, they didn't have any of those big top socket drawers. Like, they didn't have any of these big top. I used it as my socket drawer, but, that whole with deep drawer. So that kind of turned me down from, bad camera work, from getting one of the Craftsman boxes from Lowe's. So moved past from that now. I heavily considered getting one of the boxes through Home Depot under the Husky brand. I also looked at the Milwaukee ones, and they were basically the same boxes. They are the same boxes, essentially, just different labels on them. So I really liked that the Husky boxes had the big socket drawer up here. But my turn down from that was that, as I could show you here, this has two slides, and the Husky boxes only had a single slide on each side. So that gave me a lot less weight rating for that top drawer, which you are going to have filled to the brim. You will have that drawer as full as it possibly can go with ratchets and sockets and whatever you put up there. So that turned me down kind of from the Husky box, but I was still willing to, still maybe possibly work with that. But also, since I only have that single drawer there, when you load it up, it's going to be super sloppy and it's going to have a hard time rolling in and out. So, another thing that I considered was the box material. So, I believe that this box is made out of like 16 or 18 gauge steel, while the Husky box was made out of 20 or 18 gauge steel. So I think this one's made out of 16 gauge steel, if I remember correctly. So this box is also made out of a more sturdy material. One thing that was a plus of the Husky boxes, and they were a little less they had a lower price tag on them than the U.S. General boxes. Another thing I looked at was weight ratings for the boxes. So this box that I got versus a similar box from Husky has not double, just a little less, but a little less than double the weight capacity for internal weight than the Husky box maximum weight rating for it. So that was another reason I went towards this one. Alright, and last reason I went with this box versus the other boxes was I can add a lot onto it. I can get an extension chest, and I can get an end locker, and I can get a top chest, and it has a lot of opportunities where I could keep building on this same chest and expand my space versus one of the other boxes, which you just have to buy another box or a bigger box and replace and replace. So that is my reasoning for getting this box over the other boxes now. So leave your comments below if you have something I should have done or should not done or whatever. But that's my decision. So now let's show you what's inside this box. So starting off, you already got a sneak peek of this top drawer. But let's get into it. So this is my socket drawer. I have tool organizers on the way. You'll see those in a future video. But these are, my standard impact sockets, and this is just my standard row. This is my metric row. And if you want a more in-depth review of all these, or a more in-depth showing of all these tools, go check out my actual Toolbox tour video. It has pretty much all the same tools, just in a different box, different organization. So if you want to see that, check that out. I'll leave the link to it into the description below, but go check that out. Alright, coming down to this next drawer below that is my screwdriver and pick and panel puller drawer. So have my lovely snap-on screwdrivers. These are the Bomb Dig. They really are amazing. I think there are no other screwdrivers like it on the market, and yeah, are personally, in my opinion, the best screwdrivers. And I also have support from CP, the Tool Addict, so go check out his channel also with that. But definitely love the snap-on screwdrivers. Then I just picked these picks up not too long ago. Loving them so far. They barely flex when you're really picking stuff out versus just the cheap Harbor Freight picks, which suck. I have the panel pullers from Harbor Freight, the Pittsburgh Automotive, but I plan to upgrade to like an SK style that I actually saw on CP on the Tool Addict's channel. He showed these off, and so I'm thinking about picking one of those up. I have my bits for my bit driver, but I'll stop just going through everything, and I'll just kind of show you what's in each drawer. So check out the Toolbox tour video if you want to see everything in depth. This is my metric wrench drawer. You just saw me put in these wrench organizers. These are the Tecton USA made. Loving them so far. These are the gear wrench ratcheting wrenches, and these are the Husky ratcheting wrenches, and these are the stubby gear wrench. Basically, have used pretty much everything in this drawer, and, well, not every single wrench, but, you know, used a couple of each wrench, and I've liked everything I've had in here. Now this one is the standard drawer. I plan to rearrange this, so because as you saw, these are the standard gear wrench ratcheting wrenches, so I plan to organize these down into this drawer. Right here is my plier drawer, pretty self-explanatory. So, right here is my stubby wrenches and just kind of more miscellaneous drawer. Have my oak stick for driving things if you don't want to mar it up with an actual steel hammer or something, or if you can't reach it with an actual hammer, and my different hammers. Coolant tester, you know. Oh, you can't see that, but I'll show that in a future video. Alright, coming down here now. You just saw this in my last video I put out. Or, not last video, video before that. I haven't got to use it yet, but it's a big wrench, and I like it. Have my heat gun, my metric impact socket set. I can't even get to it, barely. With all the impact extensions and everything. Impact flip socket set from Tractor Supply. Again, if you want to see everything in deep and heavily attention, then check out my Toolbox store video. Junk drawer up here, just miscellaneous screws and bolts and everything, and have some measuring items in here. Coming down here, this is my electrical drawer. I don't think I've ever seen an electrical drawer organized before, so not trying to be... That is organized for me in my electrical drawer. This is Allen keys in here, this drawer. Snap-on Allen keys, needle files, spark plug, wrench kind of tool. These are my roll pin punches, chisels, and stuff. And these are actually torque sockets in here that my socket rail broke, and so I'm waiting for something to show up to organize those better. Crescent wrenches, torque wrenches, and the dial indicator, which I use for, you know, like measuring play and spinning things. Cheap oil filter wrench. Just cheap digital caliper set. And then my air tool drawer. Just put this leash on, or this tail onto this air impact, so I'm taking better care of it. Oiling it a lot more often. Loving it. It's holding up so good so far. Hits so hard. It beats every, you know, not every air impact I have tried it against so far. Like, I've tried it against the Napa ones, I've tried it against some of the Ingersoll Rand ones, and it beats all of them with the same air pressure that they are running on. So, loving that one. Air rotor, air hammer, air tool oil, and all the bits and everything for that. Well, that really shows pretty much everything I have in this box here. So thank you again very much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. And right now, through these crazy times, for everybody who is out there on the front lines and an essential worker, really give my thanks out to all of you. And let's just keep doing our part. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.